everybody. Mondia and Astral Oracles. I hope you're also feeling some spring in your step. Up here in the north, it's still cold, but it's also bright and sunny. And though I didn't see it, there has been aurora borealis down here, which is very, very rare. It comes down so far south. So it seems auspicious, like the atmosphere is loaded with the light and spring is ready to go. That means that we're going to check in with our Arcturian friends in the ninth dimension about what we can expect ascension-wise and energy-wise in the coming month of March. So I hope you're doing well out there. Thank you for being here. Much love. Hi friends, this is your pal Umblam from the ninth dimension. I'm so happy to greet you. I'm so happy to be with you, and I'm so happy to share this space together, because shared spaces are really how reality is anchored. So you sometimes have the idea that you're walking more around a type of fish tank, we could say, not swimming around, than a terrarium or something similar, feeling like you're more on display, that there's a world out there that's inaccessible to you. But the world is your creation. And when you meet with others and you anchor that creation into shared reality, you are adding to the overall qualities, to the richness of expression of the universe. And isn't that grand and wonderful? Isn't that indeed a loving process to be engaged in? So, with this love that I also bring to you from the ninth dimension, with our love and blessings, with the light that we come here to shed on these issues, we also thank you for anchoring this shared reality into your experience. We can't hold it alone, and this is why we enjoy communicating with humans, or indeed other species, we could say, because we are aware that these anchorings of reality, crossing these wider expansions or expanses of consciousness between species, this is really where a lot of harmony is established. So if you look at the effort in your own life, as well as in the universe at large, to try to replace conflict, problem, trouble with a sense of connection, peace, and understanding, there you will find that this is a process that's accumulating gradually. And the byproduct of this is happiness. So the universe is producing a surplus of happiness. You too, you are producing a surplus of happiness. So what many of you fail to notice, and we say this most lovingly, is that this surplus is then often redirected back into, let's call them, known cookie cutter shapes of reality. That is, you don't really know how to bake with these new and extra ingredients you have at hand. So you just go about baking more of the same old cookies. And well, you may know of the saying also that anything that's of no use to you is essentially cluttering, possibly poisoning your system. That is, if you just accumulate too many cookies, you store too much new energy in latent old structures. You will find that they grow stale, that you will find yourself cluttered, set upon for some unknown reason, even though reality is assembling itself much as it uses to do. Our friend here is a little confused about the term. So this is again this type of disturbance that can actually be very healthy. So notice that even though reality is expressing itself in usual manners, it's being very predictable. You may find that there is this introduction of upsets, this slight element of error. You know this in your idea of evolution, for instance, as mutation. But in the more refined realms of mind and spirit, you will find that these slight mishaps, they're actually often novel inspirations, ideas, creative impulses. And these are exactly the new cookie cutter molds. These are, let's say, the new shapes that you want to pour the new ingredients into. So there's constantly something arising, and it's unpredictable. It's often slightly unrecognizable to you because it is new, but the energy there is already prevalent. And so this is really the best way to manage frustration. It is to figure out which new shapes you may find that this surplus energy can flow into. And there you will find yourself then surrounded by, say, an array of different interesting cookies made from new interesting ingredients rather than from the same old dough and the same old molds. So we are introducing this to you as an overall energy of the month of Mars to harness your awareness of how you are using this influx of new energy. We were also giving the title to our friend here just before the transmission started, the overall title of Getting the Golden Nugget. He was a little incredulous to this. That is, notice his pessimism and wariness in believing these shiny promises, literally, that we are promising him golden green woods, as the expression goes in his other language. And this is this idea that you don't really want to be deceived by what is new. You don't want to be too optimistic. You don't want to be caught as an embarrassment either to yourself or to things you may feel like you're compromising when you expose yourself to new experiments, to new expressions, to new ways of being. And so this is why it can be a little hard to have the idea that the raw material, let's say the ostensible wealth or that tangible value of the goal, will be delivered to you and that will be accessible to you. So even though all that glitters isn't gold, sometimes you will find that you're actually holding something of a type of indestructible value. And you can then begin to reshape and mold this to jewelry, for instance, other things that you may find serve your decorative purposes, really adds even more value. So the idea of getting the golden nugget is again this overall energy that we're expressing, that you are getting the raw material for a refined creative process. And this is much what the energy of March is about. It's about really seasoning your dough in a perfect way so you're able to bake it, preparing your cookie cutters. It's about receiving and weighing that golden nugget, really understanding what's its material, what kind of gold are you dealing with, what kind of shine does it have, how can you work it, what is the shape that you would like it to fit into, and what is the shape it is inviting you to become or to help it become. So this is really the idea that is central to Ascension in general. It is the empowerment of energy. And this energy may have certain potentials or frequencies that are, let's say, somewhat locked. Of course, to our perspective, they are incredibly locked into the fact that they only allow for certain, let's say, earthly actions, for instance. So the new energy that's available to you, it's not something that, for instance, allows you to manifest things on planets in different galaxies. And even if it was, what would you do with it since you can't go there? It's still within a quite restrictive spectrum of available energy. And this can be very comforting, soothing. So you don't have to constantly fit it into something you already know, because it's being made available from the substratum, the mold that's already there. But you have to acknowledge your growth. You have to acknowledge that sometimes the thing that's shooting out of you, that's new and that seems strange, is actually a flower that's coming up. It's a new phase of your growth, and it's related to the energy that's already there. Your personal energy is already embedded there, but it's also working with the raw materials that's being supplied to it by the elements, by the increasing influx of sun, by its ability to take in nourishment from the soil that it grows in. So these are again these ideas of the meeting between the raw material and the refinement of the process. And our encouragement is always to have fun with it. Dear ones, have fun with it, because the new energy, it will keep expanding. And so even the molds you pour into it now, the new shapes that you wanted to assume, these are also only temporary. They are helpful to you now, but the energy abounds, it is abundant, and it keeps overflowing. So know that new creations will be offered you. And from those shapes you are creating, from those things you are building in your life, and out of it, new things will then again to proliferate, spawn, sprout forward, and give off new life, new surprises, new interesting things. So go work that dough and enjoy it. Maybe even make sure to lick the bowl clean of all those goody things you have accumulated. That is, appreciate all the minute things, and even in the unsteady stages of your creation, there is still a sweetness, exactly an exquisite state to enjoying this unbaked dough, that it is still in the making, and it holds a promise of something more finished. Enjoy holding that golden nugget. Feel how it gathers warmth from your reality, from your body, from your physical structure, and wishes to express that into reality. Feel the flower pushing itself upwards and out through your heart, and spreading itself, singing its vibrant song of fragrance and color to the world. Have a wonderful month of March. Enjoy the sequence of your time, and bask in the light and the love that you are, and that we transmit to you from our place in the ninth dimension, and from all the loving beings that surround you, from all of your galactic brethren. We send you love, blessings, and peace. Farewell. Yes, wonderful. Enjoy your march out there, guys. Much love.